Hello to you viewer, welcome to iPod Official Traders YouTube channel. So today I'm actually just going to talk about the psychology behind trading GBP JPY and also just take you or review the setups that I did give out for this week that just passed by. Right, so now what I want to focus on at the moment is currently just going through obviously it will be much more better for you to go and watch the first episode so that you can understand how I went about actually taking this trade for GBP JPY. Nonetheless, this is how the trade went, and to be honest, it was quite very intriguing, or rather it was quite difficult at some point to actually stand on the setup a bit. Main reason being the fact that due to the reasons of trading using supra RS trading, due to the fact that it does work. So each and every time wherever I identify a resisting area, or a supporting area or in a resisting area, the market will play on. It's like it will respect that certain area, right? So what happened is in this format. So obviously, remember from the first episode, as I said, you would have to go and watch first episode to understand how I went about actually having this having to mark out these areas on this chart, right? So in the meantime, for now, let me just take this and put it somewhere here so that we can clearly look at the charts properly. So what I want you to see here is that for me, honestly, after I took the trade right about those levels when it was still actually dropping, so when the price was still actually dropping, what happened was, as I had actually identified this support, when price came about, it actually respected that support, and it respected it perfectly. If you can actually take a look at it right there, you can see that it actually respected that area perfectly by rejecting or bouncing at that area. So as soon as it actually started bouncing off that area, I started doubting. I started actually eventually not doubting, rather I started thinking, what if the price would actually just start shooting to the upside, and then I would be actually facing a loss. Understand? Because like at some cases, obviously we need to understand that in some cases it might happen that our setups might not be as 100 as we are confident about them, but obviously, and then as soon as price started rejecting to the upside, I was like, you know what, let me just hold, due to the fact that obviously I was willing to hold. And the trade, I actually took the trade based on a daily time frame. If you go and watch the first episode, obviously I took the trade based on where's that thing? I took the trade around that area based on this daily time frame, because I had seen that we had our a touch that was influenced a drop, right? So obviously going back to the 4 hours, that's why I had to just hold and actually see how the price was about to react as it went or as it shot up. So as soon as it shot up, I remember, I'll try and show a screenshot that I did send to one of my uncles. So there was actually a trade where I actually identified a set of another entries. I think it was 15 minutes, obviously here I can't really remember much, but I do know most definitely it was from 15 minutes time frame or somewhere around 30 minutes, because as soon as it was actually rejecting, I did go into setting, but I used my phone at that time. I didn't use TradingView. That's why I'm like, it must have been at 30 minutes or somewhere around must have been somewhere around either 30 minutes or 1 hour somewhere, but I do know that I even had my thing right there. I think it has to be 30 minutes if I'm not mistaken. It has to be somewhere around 30 minutes or 1 hour, but I'll show you the screenshot, right? So that led me into actually identifying a set of area again that that seemed to actually give me a confidence to say, okay, there is a chance of actually price even dropping even further again. Obviously, my main focus was the reason why I had this. If you go watch the first episode, was that if price actually did break above properly, obviously that's where I was gonna focus on my second entries around these areas, right? But what happened is, as soon as I think there was an event, so it was after, like, this trade took about like two, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3 days, 2 days I think, yeah. So on the second day of holding, this price actually even dropped even harder. Like there was an event at around 10, I think, somewhere around there, not even 10, I forgot the time, but there was an event that had led the price to even drop even further down. And as soon as price was dropping further down, after it reached this area, it started rejecting, and I had doubts about whether to hold or not. And I was like, hey, there might also be some chances of actually risking the profits that the market has given me. And I'm like, hey, the setup will be complete and yada yada. And I'm just like, nah, you know what, since I had a lot of trades that were running from this point of area, I'll only risk and see how price will react as soon as it comes back towards this area. Lucky enough, price did drop again, but as soon as it hit my fib target, I closed almost, not all, but I closed every trade that I had, and only left one trade running to see if whether the price will be complete. Obviously right now you can see that the price actually had shot up, but obviously due to the fact that I was focusing on what in the 4-hour time, is it 4 hours? Obviously in the 4-hour time frame, as I said, as soon as price actually broke below, that's why I was gonna actually try to focus on finding a retest area around these areas, right? But obviously, judging from this point, I could tell that okay, price started shooting up. Obviously, holding that one trade, I was like, you know what, let me just close it. But I closed my trade when it was when prices started rejecting even further, passing this area. I was like, let me just close. But obviously, at the moment, I'll just see whether this coming week I can try to capitalize, maybe in the smaller time frames, towards the selling opportunity towards until it reaches this target. Then I can start seeing what I can do. But obviously, from this, judging from how the price is looking, I'll just try and redo an analysis upon the current trade or the current market, then see how I go about GBP JPY. If not, then I'll be trading a different instrument. Then as I said, the psychology part of actually holding into this trade became quite tricky as soon as I had so many rejections before the actual fall. So that led me into actually doubting a bit of the analysis, because obviously the main thing was I was actually still looking forward for GBP JPY to even push higher, right? But obviously, due to the fact of so many rejections before the fall, led me into actually trying actually having a little bit of setback of like doubts to say, will it go, will it not go? But lucky enough, it did go, because obviously I stick to Fibonacci at first. Since my doubts were about what if it might start buying, then I only let my my guards to actually take whatever the market gave me when it reached the Fibonacci target, because that was one thing for sure, that I was confident that if there was any retracement to the downside, we had to reach the Fibonacci target. Understand? So how I actually identified the Fibonacci target, you can go and look at the first episode to understand how I came about marking this Fib target. And then now we also had a GBP JPY, right? So looking at GBP JPY, honestly, I wouldn't want to lie, I ended up taking a loss from this. And I didn't necessarily take my loss at this area, I took my loss around this area, because I was like, that was a big loss for me. I was like, maybe there's something I missed into this thing. But obviously, due to the fact that I might have missed something, then I had to, right now I'm actually going to just try and see what is that I did miss in this particular trade, rather, this particular area. So honestly, I was still focusing on the price to still push up, but I think due to the fact that maybe I might have missed this, maybe that's the reason why it led me into taking a loss, right? Due to the fact that you can see that we actually had a strong high and a weak strong low and a weak low, which led to a very weak trend line. So the the price did break below. So as soon as the price broke below, came back for a retest and then started dropping from there. So I think from that point of area, or from my point of view, I might have missed that point to see that okay, price did actually drop first, which is quite reasonable for the loss. I do accept the loss, but obviously in this coming week I'll see if whether there's any opportunities I can actually go about trading on GBP/USD. But also not to forget, we had another setup, which is gold. But now, before even wasting any further time or anything, I'm a bit disappointed in myself for not really focusing much on gold as I was supposed to, because obviously I think I didn't want to risk taking the trade that I was not quietly as much as sure as I was about it. So as soon as I remember from the first not the first but the second episode, if you go and watch them, actually just go and watch the gold one. Now what happened was that for gold, it was in the 4-hour time frame. Remember, in the 4-hour time frame, I did mention on that particular episode to say that the only time I'm allowed to take trades on gold is if we have a proper breakout outside this zone, and then that's where I'm gonna focus on taking my trade at 2030 89 890. Right, that's where I was focusing on actually about to take my trades. But the unlucky part was when price actually shot up. I saw as soon as I got my notification that price actually broke above 2039.40. As soon as I got the notification to say that price did actually break above, what happened was, obviously I set my buy limit at this area. I think I even took a screenshot after it broke above. After I got the thing, I set my buy limit at this area, thinking that after this, price will definitely try and actually have mercy on me and drop towards this area and then give me my buy limit, and then I was gonna hold into this whole buy area. But obviously, I think if I had more time to actually focus on gold before the breakout, I was gonna try and risk taking the buy before it even actually broke out. You understand? But the unlucky part is I wasn't really focusing. I was still focusing on GBP/JPY because of the upcoming events that had an effect on GBP/JPY. So that's why I didn't really put much more focus on gold at that specific time. But you can see that it actually played out and actually completed the buy as even way better than I even anticipated. It even broke above, as I said. As soon as actually price broke above, then most definitely I will actually start now focusing on this coming week. Most definitely I will reanalyze, but I'm most definitely gonna try and see if the price can come back and reject towards these areas, and then I can start taking my extra buying opportunities again. But otherwise, judging from how the price did for gold, we had a clean setup that played out. Obviously, the unlucky part is I couldn't execute it due to the fact that my entries did not get triggered. But a good part is GBP/JPY went as we anticipated. GBP/USD didn't go as anticipated. And then lastly, looking into gold did go as anticipated, but we just had the unlucky. We were just unfortunate we didn't get to execute that, which was an emotional breakdown after I saw that the price was actually pushing even higher. Because I think I also after that, honestly. After this, I think with this one again, what had happened was I was also in this. It has to. Let me look at my phone while we're still. Yes. So I think, damn it, yeah. Let me just look at my phone one last time on gold. I think it was not 5 minutes. Let me look at 15. Was it 15? Nope, it was 30 minutes for sure. Voila, it was 30 minutes. Okay. Yo, wait. Nah, I'm no longer drinking cold drink. Sorry about that. But I think it was also 30 minutes, which is quite tricky. Because of this. Okay, let me. But it is quite tricky though. Why I think these candlesticks are not really looking as they are in this. On this one it shows, yeah, you see now the other problem comes in this way. On the phone it shows a strong, rather it shows what, it shows a strong, there's a strong high right about this area. There's a strong high right at that area, and here it doesn't really, on trading view it doesn't really show that. Let me try and see where is it situated. Okay, that's the first up, right? And then there's a drop, there's a rally, and that's where we are supposed to actually have. Or is it me? No, it's not me. Let me take it back. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, let me just do this and lower there. But on the thing, what I used was this, which gave us the retest to the upside here, which gave us a retest. Obviously it means that if I was too vigilant after that, I would have actually since I was more focused on the actual setup, I lost the interest of really just doing an analysis again, seeing where are the possible entries. And obviously that means a possible entry, if I had missed that one, I would have actually taken it that from that area and only placed my stop loss below, but kept the same I would have actually kept the same TP. But obviously I became the unlucky kid who didn't get the chance to actually trade this, who didn't really get a chance to trade who didn't really get the chance to trade gold. But otherwise, this coming week I will definitely do much better. As I said, after watching this video, do make sure you also recommend which instrument should we actually focus on this coming week. At least a few, at least 3, I think, is enough to trade the week. You know, and see if whether we cannot get any swinging trade we can just go about for this week. And thank you for watching, and for those who subscribed as well, thank you very much. Shout out to everyone. I'll try and make the upcoming videos as well more educational than just talking as well.